joining us today again on News Review, brought to you by Wizomia Television. I am Ayomikun Alao, and in the studio with me, I have Mr. Francis Okoli. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Ayomiko, for having me.
And I'm very sure you're doing well. Apparently, it's actually a good day today, and we have several stories that have made it to the headline of several newspapers. After which we'll be moving to our hot pick. But before that, I need to restate the fact that you can as well join the conversation by giving us your own opinion, by making use of the comment section and giving us what you feel about every topic we discuss, because this is just us coming to you with our own opinion, and our opinion can obviously be yours, yeah? Okay, so on Punch newspaper we have the following headlines. Hush Puppies Associate Woodbury pleads guilty, forfeits $8 million and assets. Ex-Lagos Deputy Governor vows to renounce citizenship before Tinubu's inauguration. Banana Island 7-story building collapses, Lagos alleges structure lacks permit. The Vanguard newspaper has the following headlines. Presidential poll, APC-PDP fight over validity of outcome. 125 killed, 60 kidnapped in 82 days in Kaduna. Presidential poll, why I defeated you, Tinubu replies Peter Obi. Gangs of Lagos fame, a mockery of our heritage, Lagos government says. The Daily Post has the following headlines. Market women docked for allegedly defaming colleague. Thiago Silva to leave Chelsea, return to former club. One killed as robbers attack Abeokuta market. The Guardian has the following headlines. Police arrest suspects for beating OAU students to death. G5 governors mini convention plan deepens PDP crisis. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us, and now we've successfully moved to the Hot Pick segment, and we're starting with the news that reads, police arrests suspects for beating OAU students to death. The police have arrested 2 persons who are the members of our All executive have been arrested by the police following the death of a 500-level student of Civil Engineering Department at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. Okoli was reportedly beaten to death by a mob on suspicion that he stole a mobile phone. And sources on the campus said the student was accused of stealing a mobile phone in Awo Hall on Monday, and after he had been severely beaten, he was moved to the Student Union building. And according to a report, those that are arrested are 2 people from the Student Union government who were traced to actually have some affiliation with the case, and they are still in the custody of the police. Meanwhile, the directives of the school have actually said that they will leave the police to go on with their investigation because they would not be a partaker in such heinous crime that has been committed by members of the school or students of the school. Though there were several civil engineering students, for the Faculty of Technology who came out in the early hours of yesterday, to protest that there must not be any lecture to hold in the school in commemoration of the death of their colleague Okoli. And I feel my own submission to this is that no matter what happens, jungle justice is not an option. And this person is obviously just a suspect. You suspected him to have stolen a phone, a mobile gadget. So if per adventure he is guilty, hand him over to the necessary department in the school. That's why we have student affairs body. That's why we have the president, the VC, and several other people from the school that you can report to. And if you feel like the school would not do it the way you want them to do it, they just report to the police. Of course, there are police stations very close to the school. So jungle justice or taking laws into our hands is actually something I really frown at.
Yeah, you see, this case is just so pathetic and so unfortunate for a young guy, promising young guy that is in his 500 level.
That's like the final lap.
It's just too unfortunate that such is even happening in a supposedly refined and environment that we are supposed to have elites that are enlightened, that knows the law, knows the law are not taking laws into their hands. How can you beat up a suspect when they are law enforcers? And I even learned that there are volunteer security, student security guys there, that they should have enforced the law instead of taking the laws into their hands, beating up the young guy, and even to the point of death. I even learned that when I read the news that the boy was taken to the student affairs department and was
not
even
student
detained.
affairs, student union.
The student union department and affairs too, and detained there for some hours before even taken to the hospital, and the hospital is not even far from there. I see this kind of things should not be happening in a supposedly civilized environment, a school environment that we know that this kind of guys that are there that are learning, they know the law, they know what to do next. And it's unfortunate that we are not like trying to support stealing or taking things that don't belong to you, but in this case it's just too unfortunate. So I just pray that we should learn not to take laws into our hands, because this kind of environment, so many of us that are moving around, most people are unhealthy, they are unfit. Some people that are not even medically fit, and when you beat, you tend to just, you know what it. Some of them are like the two student union government members. I think they are leaders. They are leaders at the court. I don't think they will free very soon, because it is murder. Exactly. It is murder, and they must charge people. The law will charge them, and you see what it will result to. That same thing goes to you. When you have misunderstanding, don't take laws into your hands. Try and report to the enforcers, and please do that. Thank you.
I just feel that's what everybody should do. I was discussing with someone this morning, and I was just saying that it's not really about those OAU students now. Let's go back to the market where somebody steals a pen, steals a bag, and you carry tire, fuel, and why don't you go to the ASO Rock, go to your state house government, go drag the people that are
the pen looters, the ones that
have brought us into this poverty. Bring them out and chain them, put tire around their neck.
Maybe that's why they are having a series of security outfits guiding them and protecting them.
Stealing, it's actually a very bad thing. I don't even see any justification to stealing. But when you catch people like that, don't do jungle justice. It's better you just report them to the necessary department. Another one is here. One killed as robber invade Abeokuta markets. The police command in Ogun State on Thursday confirmed that one trader was killed on Wednesday by armed robbers who invaded the popular phone market in Abeokuta, the state's capital. SP Abimbola Oyeyemi, the police spokesperson in the state, however, said in a statement issued in Abeokuta on Thursday that one armed robber was arrested. Oyeyemi explained that the police successfully repelled the armed robbers who invaded the Tarmac phone market located at Okelewo area of Abeokuta. And he explained that the gang, numbering about 8, stormed the market around 5:30 p.m., shooting sporadically and dispossessing the traders of their expensive phones. He said the robbers were forced to run by the combined firepower by the police and the Amotekun Corps, led by the Divisional Police Officer Ibara Division, CSP Abayomi Adeniji. Unfortunately, one Dayo Bankole, a trader in the market, who was shot by the robber, gave up the ghost while receiving treatment at the General Hospital Ijaye, Abeokuta. He ordered a manhunt to arrest the remaining members of the gang and bring them to justice.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, that's it.
Apparently, this is a broad daylight.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. And I want to say, that area is actually an area that is very open. It's not closed, but maybe they just feel like because of their operation, they know they will have a lot of things with them, and they decided to go attack them.
I think there was a target. He heard it that they actually targeted the phone shops. So they actually had a target, and it's been long we heard of such.
Exactly.
It's been kidnapping, ransom taking,
exactly.
But this kind of is like they had a target. Maybe one of the traders got delivery of expensive phones and they really needed them. But in the advent of phone tracking and the rest, do you think phone snatching, stealing phones is still in vogue?
Yeah, stealing phones can actually still be in vogue because obviously that is the market where they sell phones.
Okay.
So to some extent, that's known.
No, what I'm saying is that those phones, you know, those phones, they have IMEI numbers, they can be easily be tracked. Do you think those kind of things still exist?
Of course, they will not, the phones they will still will not be phone without pack. So it's when you see the pack that you trace
they will hack them and they will hack. See, you see, armed robbery is not. We learned that one of them was caught, and I pray that the remaining will be apprehended and brought to book and but just it's a pity that one person lost his life and it's just that. So we just advise them to just put 1 or 2 posts there, put 1 or 2 security men there. If not the police, the Amotekun, to just guys, since you know that it's vulnerable,
no,
as you said,
see,
it's an open
I'm
place.
even stunned to the fact that they were able to rob there successfully because there is a flyover.
Okay.
You know, flyover directly adjacent the tarmac itself. So there are always trays, police, and all of that under the bridge.
So it was. I think they targeted.
I don't even know how they
could even
because it's a very open place that leads to them Pansheke and other areas like that. So
it is well. The security outfit should just breeze up and
but the police are actually doing a good job.
Yeah. Look at the fire to fire thing and apprehending one of them is a kudos to the Nigerian police.
Now let's go to politics. G5 governors mini convention plan deepens PDP crisis. The G5, there is actually a division in the People's Democratic Party that we've all obviously known that happened during the election, before the election, after the election. And right now there's a bigger division that is coming over the alleged mini convention that is being pushed by the G5 governors yesterday. The move was actually gathered to see the final exit of the national chairman, Iyocha Ayu, of the party. And the problem now is now like they are trying to counter the Ayu loyalists. So the Ayu loyalists are now the ones that are saying no, we will not accept to you making a mini convention because they are very scared because in the mini convention there are likelihood that the national secretary will be removed. There are likelihood that the several people that are seen to be at a point supporting the G5 who have now seen to now be supporting Ayu and its cohorts. You know, they've seen them that okay, we are trying to uproot everything that has to do with Iyocha Ayu. And these people are scared, they don't want it to happen. It's causing another division. So before the division was actually about, we don't want Iyocha Ayu for the fact that he's not the one that is next in line. We feel it should be somebody from the south or the east or something that should be leading us. And you're not supposed to be there because you're actually making some decisions that we don't feel we align with. We don't want article, we don't want this, and all of that. That was actually the issue from the onset. But right now, Iyocha Ayu has been suspended alongside with some other people. But the problem now is that they are now trying to maybe clean up the party. They don't want some people to be in the party. And those people that they don't want to be in the party are saying that no, we will not agree. So it's now making it become a bigger problem.
You see, when Wike was saying the other time that he owns the PDP, you see, we were like, what is he saying? He's saying nonsense. Can you see it in play now? Wike stood by it and stood by his word and formed a clique, a G5, and the G5 really threatened the PDP. We saw it. We saw the arms, the damages caused by the G5 governors to the and unfortunately, some of those people that supported didn't win anything again. I think the Benue guy didn't win the. It was even Wike's house is going out. Wike is going out. It is only Seyi Makinde that is still in power. And you see, they are trying to look at the case of the national secretary. I'm not sure that man will come back because he's contesting for the governorship in Imo State. I think he's not going to come back. And that is, like you said, they are sanitizing it and they are restructuring. They are restructuring the party. Wike, I can say, is a very strong force in PDP and is trying to do some games. Even their loyalists, the Wike loyalists, G5 loyalists that are not private, that are not obeying them, that are not playing to their tune, that are anti-party, they will remove them. They will remove them. So you see that Wike is still a force to become on. Wike is a force to look on to in PDP. And I love his style. He's a very strong politician. He's a politician that plays his game very good.
In my own view, I feel they're actually doing too much. Too much now is that they shouldn't cause a further split in the party. You know, this is like we should not consider 2027 now. Yeah. Let's consider there's some of them that will still be having election. Okay. A typical example is that Anyanwu. He's actually contesting under the umbrella PDP.
Yes.
And so if there is something that would, you know, in a way suspend him from the party, then it would jeopardize his contest. Obviously, he has won for the primary, and he's supposed to forge ahead. If there is a further division, then it will be affected.
Let's change the narrative and let's change the notion. Okay. You see, it used to be party, but with what we've seen in the election that just gone by, we know that it's all about personality. If you are able to convince me that you can move on, you can rule us very well, I think it's not about party again. It's all about personality. Come out, prove yourself. Let's see what you have done, your pedigree. Come out, lay it on the floor. We assess them. Are you better than the person that is contesting alongside with you? Then we vote for you. So I think it is not about party. The power that the party used to have is over. Look at the politic. Pick it, the politic. If there's a word, it's a word like that. Seyi Makinde played in Oyo State when doing the presidential, and he actually sacrificed some of his House of Assembly, House of Rep members, and he has sacrificed them for APC. You see, that's a very big game. Yes, that is politics. So, and everybody said, okay, let's go for GSM, let's vote Sheyi. Sheyi is there, and even the APC candidate they fielded couldn't defeat him. Of course. Are you getting it? So it's all about personality now. Let's forget the area of a party. The party will bring me. The party brought me. No, prove yourself. Prove what I can read. That is the last level. There's no level in electioneering and governance.
Apparently. F. Poppy's associate Woodbury pleads guilty, forfeits $8 million and other assets. A popular man that was actually an associate of Hush Puppy, the fraud star that is now serving term in jail right now in the United States, Woodbury has actually pleaded guilty in the court that, okay, I've accepted that I really did this wire fraud, or fraud wire in the way they call it. So he has now forfeited his valuables, his assets, as well as a open sum of $8 million.
No, I think it's pounds.
It's in dollars.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in dollars. Olalekan Jacob, popularly known as Mr. Woodbury, has pleaded guilty to wire fraud, and he also agreed to forfeit $8 million in proceeds of wire frauds as well as luxury cars. According to the plea agreement, he is required to pay back the sum of $8 million he fraudulently received from the 7 companies that he scammed. Woodbury was also asked to waive his right to luxury cars, designer watches that he has stashed in Dubai. Other items seized are 4 Rolex watches, 1 Patek Philippe watch, 3 Audemars Piguet watches, and gold and diamond studded rings. Last year, he forfeited 151.8 Bitcoin to the American government. On June 10, 2020, he was arrested in Dubai alongside Ramon Oshpopi Abbas, who is currently serving an 11 years sentence for a similar fraud. So my point now is that after he has forfeited the whole properties here and there, he will still serve term.
It was not placed there. It's forfeiture, so it's a bargain. Okay. It's a bargain. Leave this money and go free, and that is what I'm not accepting. And that is why when we're discussing the case of Bola Tinubu, it was like that's what they were standing that he was not convicted, he was not jailed. You see, I think it's a way of the Western world to like maybe make money for the country or something like that. Me, I don't like it. I don't believe in it. If somebody is a criminal, let the criminal forfeit everything he has and let him or her go on jail terms. Because if somebody steals goats in a village here, you sentence the person. Imagine somebody stealing something that is not even worth it, and you're saying go 1 year, go 2 years, go 10 years. Even them sentencing a cock that was crowing to jail. So Yeah, I think there's partiality there is being biased, judgment is being, but I don't know, that is their system of governance and there's their system of judgment. But me, I'm not privy to it. I don't like it. I don't. Somebody that look at, they said he has actually forfeited some things the other time, exactly, and he still spends it on. You can imagine the influence. What will happen to the young guys that are watching him, watching his display of affluence on social media, and say, not knowing that this guy is being legitimate in his dealings and everything. So me, I'm not party to such. If such people should be cleaned off the system, arrest them, jail them, collect everything they have, and let them put them.
Even the hush puppy that is in jail, it's just being useful to the.
Yeah. No, don't say so, because they jailed him. But I'm not sure that if he comes back, he will come back. I don't know. Maybe he will be upgraded. Fire wiring, internet fraudster. So I think a law should be placed. And just scrap anything that has to do with internal fraud and the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's begin to cramp down on them, begin to arrest them, begin to jail them, and do so many things to them so that to make them feel that it is not lucrative to just so that they shouldn't go back to, because this guy will still go back to such.
Like that, apparently. I'm actually still waiting on the judgment of the U.S. court. Tinubu victory, my life is in danger. Lagos ex-deputy governor Sinatu Ojikutu has said. The former deputy governor of Lagos State, Alhaja Sinatu Ojikutu, on Monday said the process of renouncing Nigerian citizenship from the emergence of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu presidential elect was ongoing. And she actually disclosed this while addressing the press at her Lagos residence. Said that she will make sure she completes all of the process before May 29. She said before the results of the presidential election was declared, she actually stated that if Tinubu is sworn in or elected as the president, then she would renounce her citizenship and make sure that she leaves the country. And she actually said she has a reason. She said, when he won, people called me and said he would not do anything bad, but I am endangered by the current situation. I have been ostracized and humiliated in places where I should be honored. And because of this, and because of him not being at peace with me. So for that reason, I will do everything I need to do to make sure that the whole process to renounce my citizenship of Nigeria is hastened. I will not even go to places like UK, Canada, but I will be going to places that I know that I can peacefully live there and I don't have to, be watching my back. And to me, I feel it's just this woman being pessimistic or being scared, because apparently it's not like Tinubu has waged any physical war or any, I don't know about spiritual though, but it's not like he has come out to say I will do this or that for people that did not support me. And from our narrative, I could see that the whole war is not from now. It's not even from the old presidential election. It's like they had a bad blood initially. So it's now stemming back to, wow, he now has an extra power. If I'm staying back, then I'm just endangering my life.
Yeah, you see, I really learned a very big lesson while reading that report. You see, it shows if you are the inability of two erring people to settle their differences and let peace reign. You see, it has been a longing battle that has been on and on. Maybe I think he was elected a commissioner in an establishment. I think he didn't go down with Tinubu. And what is wrong with you coming back to say sorry, and we'll go ahead? Even the tongue and the teeth have one or two quarrels, and husband and wives, you settle. But look at overconfidence, ego, just like the likes of Body George. If Tinubu wins, I will relocate. And she said it. If Tinubu wins this election, I will leave the country. Okay, leave. You didn't control your tongue, your trances. You were so confident. You were so egoistic. You were so confident.
And if that is it, then come back to say,
no, yes. Look at the bragging. So many things. He may have sworn. She may have sworn to certain things and say, Tinubu, underrating people. Once you are from the same state, settle your differences. And this also, like I said, I learned a lot of lessons here. Even sometimes when issues are lingering. and maybe you have secret with me, and because of the little issue that we have, I begin to just spill it out, and later when we now settle and it's irredeemable. So one should be very careful in cases when you have differences with one another. You should be able to settle it amicably. If then just let the case just lie like that, because in this life you are bound to offend people. You are bound to settle. Like your friend's enemy can still be my friend. Your enemy's enemy can be my friend. So please, let's learn to settle differences and not begin to let it linger.
Because obviously I'll be here. I'm waiting for her to leave the country. Same as Body George, you both must leave the country. I never come back because I'm not having any. But I just want to see.
She says she's even trying. She must leave before May 29.
Exactly.
I don't know. And they are making arrangements.
Leave the country. It's not because of anything. It's because I want you to be a woman and man of your word. Integrity is very, very important.
And you should not be careless in your speech too. No, at times when you are drunk or something.
When they leave the country, you should go and say Rishi Sunak is a They will start different from papers. Okay, let's go on a short commercial break. This show is proudly sponsored by Nokwa Herbals, and we would not complete the show without having a commercial break. So let's go on a short commercial break, after which we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every. You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
it is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
Yeah, welcome back, and this is News Review brought to you by Ozomia Television, proudly sponsored by Nokpa Herbals. And that is if you've seen from the market, so just make sure that you're carrying your money together and calling them and making sure you're doing your orders and getting your products. You will sure testify to the goodness of God. And moving on, we have Gangs of Lagos fame. Gang of Lagos fame, a mockery of our heritage, Lagos government. The Lagos state government has expressed displeasure with the promoters of Gangs of Lagos film or series over what is described as a cultural misinterpretation, as well as portraying the culture of the state in a derogatory manner. In a reaction by the state government, the Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Mrs. Uzamat Akimbile Yusuf, said the ministry, being the regulatory body and custodian of the culture of Lagos State, viewed the film or series as a mockery of the heritage of Lagos. Earlier, we had that Prince Uthman Sodipe Dosumu, the Akwesiola Eyo Oba Alakete Pupa Okalabayekun, a cultural group, had condemned the film, calling for an immediate withdrawal. Sodipe described the film as ethnic profiling, sacrilegious, and outrageous trash. Outrageous trash. Meanwhile, the commissioner expressed their disappointment with the promoters of the film, Jadisola Oshiberu and Kemi Akindoju, for producing and portraying the Eyo masquerade as a gun-wielding villain while adorning the full traditional regalia. Intrusively, the Eyo festival is rarely observed and only comes up as a traditional rite when chiefs and eminent Lagos of Oba or the Oba of Lagos Indigene pass on. And so while the Eyo masquerade is used to symbolize honor for such personalities and remarkable historic events, so them portraying the Eyo in the movie as a gun-wielding element, then it's quite very bad and sacrilegious to the culture. I've actually seen the movie, and though it's actually a very, very interesting, the storyline is sweet and every other thing is nice, the scenery and all of that is perfect. But I feel where they make the mistake is the portrayal of the cultural heritage. The story might actually be so well, maybe they should have used a kind of a symbolic representation of that Eyo. And considering the fact that people of Isaleko are the ones that really worship or believe in the Eyo, and the Eyo festival in its entirety, they are not supposed to make use of the Eyo like that, figuratively, in that kind of thing. Even if they would, they shouldn't have made it a perfect or a complete regalia. Maybe using a kind of, how do I put it now? A kind of synonymous regalia so that it doesn't portray Eyo.
You see, I really have a lot to say on this because as a filmmaker, as somebody in the entertainment industry, we have really mixed it. From the producers, the directors, even to the monitoring agency, we have mixed it a lot. You see, you are trying to say, okay, you tell a story about Lagos, and is it all about crime? Even if you watch the way it is being portrayed, though violence, sex, and luxury is what tells the film, but not in this kind of situation. If we were to be in another part of the country, it will not be what we are saying. You are trying to discredit, as you have said, their gods, their culture. It's a slap on the face of the worshippers. They're your people. I can tell you your wielding guns. They're your wielding guns and covering up. We know with the little I know about it is the indigents that are entitled to partake in that festival, and it doesn't just come out like the normal masquerades and the rest of it. It comes out to cleanse maybe the death of a king, the death of a prominent person. Maybe it comes out and like a cleansing thing. They cleanse, they sweep up, they cleanse the atrocity and everything. So now let's hit it. Jade Oshiberi shouldn't be blamed only in this issue. She has a story. Now let me ask, where are the Nigerian Film and Censorship Board? Where are they? What is their duty? Are you telling me that this film didn't pass through the monitoring agency?
Of course, it has been approved.
Even, let's leave in Nigeria, the Lagos State Film Censoring Board, where were they where this film was passed? What were they looking at? It shows that all of them are just there doing nothing and collecting government money. If you are there and you are seeing this kind of thing, and it is when it came out, the government is now shouting and shouting. Government, what happened to the people you put there to monitor such things? The same thing goes to what happens on social media and on TV. When a music video you see, it's all about displaying nudity. It's all about showing how with private parts and all of it. Is that the reason why there's a music video? What is happening to this censorship board? And that is what is happening to our children. Our children display our affluence. When somebody is singing music, he's throwing dollars, he's throwing naira, he's showing girls. Is that the only thing that is there? What are they doing? Why are they not screaming and just scrutinizing those kind of things and letting it happen? So it shouldn't be just all about the producer of the film or the director. It should about the agencies too that are monitoring. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because it is not only in this kind of film. So many films are coming out that are not portraying the country in good way. You see, like the other time they were saying they should ban some Nollywood films that are talking about sacrifice and ritualism. Yes. If the only thing you can tell us is that you take your mother and go and sacrifice and you get money. You take your sister and sacrifice and you get money. You take your father and sacrifice and you get money. So what do you expect the young ones that don't have even the knowledge of anything to do? They will try that. The only thing you're telling us that Yahoo, look at it last time that one guy sang. He sang about Yahoo. And what are you telling the young ones? The young ones, okay, fine, Yahoo is a legitimate business. Nobody is talking against it. Nobody is saying anything bad about it. So let's go ahead and do Yahoo. So these agencies are part of our problem in this country. If this movie can be passed by the National Film and Video Censorship Board, passed by the Lagos State Film and Censorship Board, and nothing is seen in that, and you are not coming out after it will be released. It shouldn't be the producer alone that should be sued or should be caught.
Yeah. Francis, I feel proper scrutinization should be done before the movie is actually, before every movie or every work is being aired. And I feel where the problem comes in is a misrepresentation of idea. They actually have their idea, like, okay, this is what we want to do, this is what the storyline is about. It's just now needing some level of expertise, professionalism to be able to, redirect what you're trying to portray. Especially anything that has to do with religion, culture, tribe.
Yes.
It's not even a situation where Nigeria is right now that we're still having ethnic issue, tribalistic issue, and all of that. Really need to do better, and I believe that the producers and the actors of the movie and the co-producers already they've seen it. I don't now know what they want to do because the movie is actually an amazing
No,
movie.
they can ban the movie and remove it, pull it down and everything.
Pulling it down
Yeah,
is
you see, yes, but they should not be the only people to go down. The agencies too should go down. The monitoring
because
system.
when I saw the movie, I got to know that the movie was not something like, it's not something that they just started doing.
No,
so some of the cast, you'd have seen it's something
if
that
you think it's easy to produce a movie, it's not easy to produce a movie. So investing in such, you should know those kind of things.
Okay, let's move on. Presidential poll: why I defeated you? Tinubu replies Peter Obi. The president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has challenged the competence of the petition. The Labour Party and its candidate Peter Obi filed to nullify his election. Tinubu, in the preliminary objection he filed alongside his vice president Kashim Shettima, said that Obi was bereft of the local standing to file a petition to challenge its election victory. He argued that Obi was not even validly nominated to contest the presidential election in line with the mandatory provision of the Section 77, subsection 2 and subsection 3 of the Electoral Act. He insisted that Obi's name was not found on the register of members of the Labour Party, noting that he defected to the party from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) less than 30 days before the primary election that produced him a presidential candidate was conducted. And according to the rules and the Electoral Act, an individual that will be declared or that would even have the right to be able to contest primary election in a party must have been a party member for more than 30 days. But now it was not even up to 30 days, it was all rush and all of that. So Tinubu is believing that, to start with, Obi was not even qualified to run the race. So that, among several other reasons, are the reason he has defeated him in the just concluded poll. And I feel all of this thing is just still back to our tribunal cases that we've been talking about. And like Mr. Francis will always say, leave the case to the judge, let them take the judgment. But then, we all know that we have to come up with our own assumptions, with our own thoughts, so that the judge, because the judge is an individual like us, he has opinion like us, he just needs to follow some backing of the sections, to prove his point. But he needs your view, the view of the lawyers, the view of the defendants, the view of the accused and all of that, to be able to join together. Oh, you said this, you're not supposed to say A, you're supposed to say B, and bring a verdict. So we're still anticipating the whole scenario, the whole story here and there, and no way it is ending on.
You see, Tinubu is having a point there. I think no doubt Tinubu is an intelligent man, but the only thing that I think people were like clamoring is that he's an elderly man, he's aged. It's not fit because of the fatigue, the business in running governance, the moving around, the tedious work, the overnight works and the rest of it. I think that is just the flaw he has here. That is just what they have against him. But if in this case that he's saying about Obi, I think he's right. Obi was in PDP, I think was contesting the primary, he withdrew and went. And it has been stipulated that your name must be in the register of the party. I get it. So you and I know that actually Obi was not a member of the Labour Party. Yeah, for some time, and even he entered the race, the primary, even 30 days before 30 days to the primaries. So I think Tinubu has a point there. But what I'm seeing in this issue, it will still affect almost every member of the Labour Party that won the election, because the same thing still stands, because some of them were decampees. They actually were not members and they were selected and come and run for. So I think on that note alone, Obi can be disqualified. And on that note too, Tinubu is standing. Maybe that's the joker that they are having. This guy should the joker. Maybe the joker has been unraveling gradually. So the truth is that it is stipulated in Constitution, and that's why I said let the law. I used to say let the law take its toll, because the truth of the matter is that our learned colleagues, they spent years reading the constitutions, learning about it, and they can interpret it better. Our own is just speculations and one or two.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. And on this note, we'll come to the end of news review for today, and we'll be joining us tomorrow again as we analyze the several stories that made it to the top headline of several newspapers of our own country, Nigeria. And this is just how we do this thing often. We talk about everything based on our own opinion. And like I will always say, you need to always conversate with us, you know, let's have it together. We can't be the one giving the holy opinion because we are not the only one in Nigeria. You're actually facing this more than we do. So it's just our own to say what we feel. So you are just joining us. So whenever you're joining us, make sure that you're dropping your comments so that we can always be doing this together and make it interactive. I remain Ayomiko Alao, and until tomorrow we'll be doing this. I'm leaving you with a lot of love, joy, peace, and happiness.